of you girls that are very playful and accessible, this girl's story is going to make you think deeply about your life and the way you live.
Hi, my name is Remy. I'm 23 years old and I would like to share my story of how I became a single mom at the age of 14.
Remy, can you tell us your story?
When I was 12 years old, I was very playful and I was very accessible. Like, I was everybody's friend. I always saw the good in people. Like, even when I see the red flags, I always ignore and I'll just be playing. So then my mom used to send me to fetch water at a street close to ours. So there was this guy I was always playing with. Unknown to me, he was a very bad guy. I used to play with the guy. I'll play with the guy. And then most times when he calls me, I'll run away. So there was this day he now saw me and held me and said, Remy, you're always playing with me. Do you know who I am? I said, no. He said, don't you know who I am? Have you heard my story? I said, no, I've not heard your story. He now said, okay, I'm that very notorious boy you've been hearing about that have been killing people and running away. That is who I am. So I became very scared at that time.
Wow. How old were you then?
I was 12. I was 12 going to 13. So this guy now had eyes on me based on the way I was playing with him. He felt like, okay, I'm this normal street child that already knows good and bad, but I was still very naive. So then he now started sending his boys to like get me for him. And then I always had a way of escaping.
How old was he?
He was about 24, 25 then. So I always had a way of escaping, not until this very fateful day. I came out late in the night to get medicine for my cough, and then he caught me. And he raped me that day. So that was
in public?
No, like the guy is a very bad guy that even whenever he does something, even if there are thousands of people here, nobody minds, nobody cares, nobody would even try to interrupt.
Everyone is living in fear.
Yes, of the guy.
He was a cultist?
Yes, a very notorious cultist. So that fateful night, I had a very serious cough, and I was on my way to get medicine when he caught me, and he said, I've been playing with him for so long that finally I've entered his hands today. So that was how it happened, and I lost my virginity. And
at 12?
Yes, at 13.
Okay, we're 13 already.
Yes. And then when my mom heard about it, she could not even do anything because she was scared. She was like, that I don't expect her to go and start following that boy, that she's not ready to lose her life for somebody and all.
What of your dad?
My dad, actually the person I'm referring to as my mom is not my biological mom. I lost my mom when I was 9 and my dad abandoned me. My dad even tried to rape me then, but let's keep that one aside.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How old were you?
I was just 9 years old.
Your dad attempted to force himself on you?
I was still in primary 5 then. Primary 5 or primary 6 then when that thing happened.
Were you the only child?
Yes, I'm the only child of my mom.
Wow, and your mom passed on?
Yeah.
And then your dad tried to force himself?
Yes.
That's tragic. Then someone else adopted you?
Yes, being this my mom I refer to now.
Okay, the person you were. So when you had that encounter with that guy that night, you came back home, you told your mom about it, but she was scared because everyone is scared of the guy.
Yes.
And she couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
What does she do for a living?
She's a police officer.
Oh, wow. I can imagine how bad that guy was.
Very bad.
So what about that your mom? Didn't she have like a husband or someone?
No. She had got separated.
Wow. So all you had was that woman?
Yes.
Even though she was in the police force, there's absolutely nothing she could do about it. Can imagine how notorious the guy was. So how was your life after that incident?
So after that incident, the guy kept coming because he saw nobody fought for me, nobody was there for me, nobody stood for me, nobody even asked him any question. So he now kidnapped me. He kidnapped me and kept me in a room, like in a locked room. I was just in the room there. He was taking advantage of me whenever he felt like...
Sorry, what do you mean by kidnap? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, like he kidnapped, like he held me There was a day I was
Against your
also
will.
yes, against my will. I was also going to fetch water. He held me. He said, I'm his wife. That thing he did that day, that if he had known I was still a virgin, that he would have not done it. But since he has done it, there's no problem that nobody will come close to me. So he just wanted to keep me for himself. And then he dropped my buckets and locked me in one of the rooms in their compound.
Like you left your house to fetch water, and then he kind of he threw your bucket away.
Yes, like
took you home, that you are now his own.
The compound where we fetch water is actually their compound.
Wow. And you're just 13.
Yes.
Helpless, defenseless, and so sorry. So he kidnapped you and
Yes, and then he kept me in a locked room for days, weeks. Nobody looked for me. I was just there, and then I found out a way to escape. Okay, and then he later started giving me free hands. Like most times, he would just open the door for me to come out. And because I was still very small, there was a day I came out and I went to play with some of my friends. He came back and started looking for me. So everybody was like, Remy, this person is looking for you. Have you seen him? I said, no. Immediately I got to the house, he started beating me. Like, even his elder brothers were there. They could not do anything. He started beating me. That's why I sustained one injury on my leg. He started beating me, and then he said I must take him to the person's house. I said I was not in anybody's house. He said it's a lie, that maybe I've gotten somebody else. That was why
and
I
you're
went
just
to.
13, a young child that wants to just play.
I was just 13. So I told him I did not go anywhere, but he refused. He kept on beating me till midnight. That was how I now found a way to escape. And I ran to my friend's place, one of my friends, a male friend. He was like the only person I could think of at that time because of the influence of his elder brother. So I ran down to my friend's place and I started staying there. But then with time again, this same boy found out where I was and he came to get me from there. And then it just continued like that until the final time I ran away. I sustained a lot of injuries on my body. And when he catches me, he will beat me from let me just say from 9 o'clock in the night till 5 a.m. in the morning. There was a time he even threw me into the water, but I don't know how I survived.
He threw you where?
Yes, into the water.
What's into the water?
This river here.
Threw you into a river?
Yes. And then he sent his boys to still bring me out again. Broke bottle on my head and stabbed me. That's how I got these injuries on my hand.
Wow. I'm beginning to imagine, how notorious was this guy?
Very notorious.
What are some of the things that he did that has made people that is causing people to be scared of him?
He kills people. He rapes girls. Like if then those cultists, maybe if he goes to catch one of their rivals and then he finds the boy with his girlfriend, he will take the both of them, kill the boy in presence of the girl, and him and his crew will sleep with the girl, rape the girl, kill the girl, and they'll throw them into the water. So that was how bad the guy was.
Wow, I'm just trying to just imagine the whole thing. Wow. And he was just 25.
Yes.
And all this happened in Elelewo, Port Harcourt, River State.
Yeah.
Nobody even bothered to look out for you.
Nobody. There was a time when even by 5 p.m. all shops are locked because of fear. The fear they had for the boy.
He'll kill people and will go scot-free.
Yes, he even kills in broad daylight when there are people there, and everybody will just run away for their life. You don't even want to be there for them to say, I saw this person. So, because you don't know who they are coming for next.
Even police, everybody was scared of him.
Everybody was scared.
Wow, this is crazy. So how did you go on to survive being with someone like that?
It wasn't easy. So I ran down to my friend's place because of the influence of my friend's elder brother. And then the other brother was the one taking care of me, treating my injuries and all. And then when this boy found out I was there, he came in the middle of the night and carried me away from there too. He observed to know the guy was not around because that was the only guy that could stop him. And then he carried me down to the riverfront again. He beat me from night till morning. And then the next day, he took me away from Elelewe entirely. I don't even know where it is. It is now I know. Okay, so this was where I was kept. I did not know anywhere then. He kept me there, and I was just a small girl living in the midst of those kind of boys. I was just a small girl living in the midst of those kind of boys. Yes, and the place he kept me was like a bunk or something. Like, I'm the only girl. I was the only girl among them, and I was the smallest.
In the midst of like how many boys?
About 4 or 5 in that particular room, but in the environment, they are more than. I was the only girl. Most times you see guns, you see this, you see that, and I could not even do anything. I could not even run away because I did not know anywhere. There was no phone. I did not even know where to start from. So I was just there. I was just there living my life like, okay, this is how it's going to end. And then one day he came again in the middle of the night. He came and he said, Remy, my mind is telling me that you started doing something here again with somebody. And I started crying. I said, doing something with who? Who is going to even agree to do anything with me when they find out the person that brought me here? Everybody knows you, so nobody. He said it's a lie. And then he took me again that night. That was around past 10 to 11. He took me again from there and brought me back to this waterfront. And then he wanted to start beating me again, but then I already knew his ways, kind of. So immediately he bent down to lose one wood he would use in beating me. I tiptoed and I ran away. I didn't run straight, although, because I know him now, like I know how he moves. So I used his ways, so he could not get me that night. And the only place I still ran to was that my friend's place, who happens to be my baby daddy.
Yeah, because you didn't know any.
Yes, I did not know anywhere.
Who happens to be your baby daddy?
Yes.
What do you mean?
My friend, the person I always run to, now got me pregnant.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, the person you always run to. Okay.
So even when I got there that night, everybody was afraid because they felt I had died. They heard the story of how he threw me into the water, how they beat me till morning and all. So my friend saw me and he was shocked. He was like, Remy, where have you been? We have been looking for you. We heard you died. I said, no, I did not die, yo. That they beat me, but I did not die. He took me to one side. I explained everything, and then I slept that night. In the morning when I woke up, I saw him. That's the boy that raped me. I saw him with the other brother of my friend, and I was afraid. Although they were discussing, that one was like, why did you come here again? Why did you carry her? Why don't you want to let her rest and all? But because I already knew him, I carried the bucket like I wanted to ease myself, and I ran away from there because I knew his next move. So that was why I kept running away. Like, I might be in a place now, and if I see 1 or 2 persons that, okay, I know this person works for this boy, I'll just leave there immediately. And then you hear, he came here to look for me. He did not see me. So that was how I was just running constantly. Although I was just within the same environment, but I started being trickish. I don't know if I should use that word. Because I might tell you I'm here now, but I'm not there, because I know if he comes there to get me, I don't even know the next thing that was going to happen. So that was how it kept happening. That was how I was living my life until I heard they arrested him and he went to prison.
Wow. At what age were you then?
All these things happened. I was already 14 then.
Okay, so all these things happened within 1 year?
Yes. I was already 14 then. So then I now felt one kind of peace, like, this person is
freedom.
Yes. I now felt I would have gone back to the house, but because my foster mom, they did not even look for me. I don't know if they looked for me within that period, but I felt like, okay, no need. So I started staying with that my friend.
The one that got you pregnant?
Yes. I started staying with him.
He accepted you?
Yes, he accepted me. But later, I started staying with him though. And then he now said,
was this other guy aware that you were pregnant for someone else?
No, he was not. Before he even came out, I had already given him. No, okay, he came out when I was still pregnant.
Okay, he came out from prison when you were still.
Yes. So this boy now said that I know he has liked me for so long now that then I used to tell him to give me time to grow up and know things first, but everything has already happened now, that if I want to continue staying in his house, that I have to be his girlfriend.
But he already got you pregnant?
No, I was not pregnant by that time.
Okay,
like,
that before he got you pregnant.
Yes.
So he was like, okay, now you have to be my girlfriend.
Yes.
That was what now got you pregnant.
Yes. So I was staying.
And you were 14 then?
Yes, I was 14 then. I was staying with him already. So When I got pregnant, I did not know at first I was pregnant. I was like, it got to a point I said, okay, I now made some friends. So there was this, I traveled with one of my friends. I traveled to her community. So I was like, I'm even ready to start my life here. Oh. After all, there's no mother, no direct sibling, so I can just start my life here. Not knowing I was already pregnant, 4 months gone. I was already pregnant. So when I found out I was pregnant, there was nowhere for me else to go to, so I had to come back to the boy. And then he took me to his mom. At first, the woman accepted me, but then later she called me and said that she doesn't want to see me in her son's house, that all these girls that I don't know where I've gone to carry pregnancy from now to come and put on her son's head, that if she sees me in her son's house, she's going to kill me, she's going to do this, she's going to do that. And then the boy started behaving somehow. Even his elder brother had eyes on me, so they were just spoiling his mind. He started behaving somehow, maltreating me. I'll be pregnant, I'll not eat, stuff like that. Even when I go for checkup, they'll say the baby is not growing well. Also, I now had to start staying with my friends at the waterside. I was staying with my friends at the waterside. I was there and I was contemplating. I said, God, if I give birth to this child, now what will I do? Should I sell the child? Where do I start from? Who do I stay with? How do I take care of my baby? Not until
Sorry. Life.
So I was just there waiting for maybe when something positive will happen. I was just there, and there was this day I just saw my baby daddy. He came. He said, pack your things, let's go back to the house. I said, I pack my things for what? Me, I'm scared though. This one you say you don't want me, and now you're telling me to pack my things. What do you want to do with me? He said I should come, let's go to the house first, that when we get to the house we are going to talk. And also when we got to the house, he did not even tell me anything. It was later some of his friends now came and said, okay, later carrier, you for no carrier and I made them kill you. So that was how I now learned that this boy now is out of prison. And then he found out I was pregnant for this other boy, and he was maltreating me and he denied me. And then he carried him. He took him to a place and beat him very well, and even threw him from the upstairs. It was an uncompleted building.
The other cultist.
Yes, and told him that
carried your baby daddy.
Yes.
Beat him up and then threw him from an upstairs.
Yes, when he learned how they were treating me with the pregnancy. And then he told him that does he know he's the person that spoiled me? Like, does he know he brought me to this tree? That if he had left me with my auntie, that all these things wouldn't have happened to me. That if he does not want to die, he should better go and carry me now from wherever he chased me to. If not, he's going to kill him. So that was how I started staying there again until I gave birth to my child.
Wow. Wow, I'm so sorry for. I mean, I don't even know what to say right now. It's. Oh, feels sad.
It wasn't easy. Even when I gave birth to my child, I was very strong. I don't know if it's because of the age then, but I was very active even with the pregnancy.
Is it a girl or a boy?
A girl. I was very active even with the pregnancy. I used to carry my pregnancy and run around with my age mates. I carry my pregnancy and run around with my age mates till I get okay. Then the mom now took responsibility. She registered me in a good antenatal hospital until I give birth.
So what about let's fast forward to 2023 right now. Can you tell me about your child, your baby daddy, and then the other cultist guy?
The cultist guy is dead. My baby daddy is also dead, but my child is with me.
What happened?
The cultist guy, it was when the activities in LLM was like, it was becoming too much. Every day, rape, killing. You hear different bad stories about LLM. So that was how SARS entered then and wiped those set of boys out. So that was how he died. Then my baby daddy, I don't know, somehow later, he now got involved in cultism too. So as at that period when they arrested even the cultists, he was mentioning names. He now included that one's name. and that was how that one went to prison and came out some years later with they said he had tuberculosis, and that was how he died, struggling with the tuberculosis. But even before then, I already left his house. I left his house when my baby was 1 year. I left his house. I went back to my mommy's place, and I started doing jobs to help me and help my child. And the mom is a very bad person. The mom is a very bad person. She does not even care how a teenager is going to raise a child. Like, she does not care. She's a very wicked person. She's a wicked person. Up till today, they have never asked me, how are you coping? How is this girl coping? But thank God we are okay. Thank God, God is helping us. Like, I'm not the way they are seeing us, I'm not sure they expected it.
A survivor. That's what I think about you. Wow, what a story. I was wanting to ask if you had something you would like to tell. I give any advice you like to give out to young girls like you, but I really don't know if that's necessary again, because there's nobody that will not hear this story and not learn something from it. So how's your life right now at the moment? How are you surviving? I mean, you're alone.
I'm not there yet, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be. At least I was able to go back to school. And I forgot to add, during all those periods when those things were happening, I was not privileged to go to a secondary school. I did not go to a secondary school. But years later, my biological mommy's sister now called, and it was like everybody started remembering me. It was like they started remembering that we have a daughter somewhere. So she now called and asked what I wanted to do. And then I told her that I would like to go back to school. So that was how I went back to school. I wrote my JAMB, I passed by God's grace. I wrote WAEC, I passed, and I got to school.
What did you study in school?
Marketing.
Oh, nice. Are you a graduate now?
No, I just did my OND, but then I've been facing challenges, financial challenges. I've not been able to do my clearance and go back for HND.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So about your child now, is she in your custody?
Yes, she's with me. She has been with me.
Wow, life is difficult though. I seriously cannot blame you for anything, because you're just a victim of the victim story. You're a victim of circumstance. Right now, we've heard her story and it's really sad. Remy is just 23 years old, and she's our sister. She's our own, because right now she does not have anybody. So if there's any way we can help this girl to live a normal life, and not just for her but for our child, please let us help her. Okay, so if you're interested to see Emi go to school and come out successfully and also become established in life, and you're interested in assisting her one way or the other, she's going to call her phone number here, so you can reach her on WhatsApp. Do you mind calling your phone number?
Okay. 081 02 41 5913.
Could you call that again? Add +234 this
Okay.
time for those people living outside the country.
+234 81 02 41 5913.
So people will be able to reach you on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Are you on social media?
Yes, I'm on social media.
Okay. What's your name on Facebook?
Remy Ezekiel.
Remy Ezekiel. Okay,
Yes.
maybe I could tag you in the comment section.
Okay.
Wow, what a story. I don't know what to say, but if you have something you like to, maybe an advice you like to give to younger people, you are free to do that.
Okay, my advice is don't be too playful, because I feel like it was that nature that got me into trouble. Don't be too playful, don't be too accessible. Like, it's not like I'm saying you should be harsh or arrogant. Just know how to go about your life. Don't give everybody access to you. That's my advice.